We're going to practice using some feature tools. So the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and click to create a new sketch, and I'm going to do it on this plane here. Then I'm going to get the rectangle tool and I'm going to hover over the origin and make sure you are getting the box. That means you are starting from that origin point. And so I'll go ahead and click to draw a box. I can see that the box is not fully constrained. I can still move it in the width and in the height direction. So I'll want to fully constrain that rectangle. I'll do this by using the sketch dimension tool. So you can either click it from the menu or type D on your keyboard. We're going to give the sketch an overall width of 4 inches and an overall height of 2.5 inches. From here, the sketch is fully constrained, so I'll go ahead and click Finish Sketch, and I'll go to a home view, and I'm going to click to extrude that sketch. I'm going to extrude the rectangle 1 inch. And then I can go ahead and click OK. From here, we're going to practice some subtractive modeling. So that was additive modeling we just did. So to do that, I'm going to create a new sketch, and I'm going to create it on this front surface of the part. I'm going to get the line tool then, and from the origin point, I'm going to click and I'm going to drag a line up to the top edge of the part. I know I'm on the top edge of the part when I get that blue X. So I'll click to place that line. I'll click another line and put another line into the corner, and then a line that connects back down to the bottom to complete my shape. From here, we can see that the sketch is not fully constrained yet, so we have a dimension still to put in. I'm going to go ahead and select D on my keyboard, and we're going to select this time to create a angular dimension. So I'll click on the left edge of my part and the line. And in this case, we're going to put in an angular dimension of 30 degrees. So I'll go ahead and type in 30 and hit enter. Once I have that complete, I'll go ahead and click to finish the sketch. I'll go back to my home view and I'll select extrude. Then I'll select that triangular shape that we just created, and I'm going to cut through the object this time. And so there's some options over here in your extrude window. Under extent type, instead of distance, I'm going to say all. And that just means that we want to cut through the entire object. Once I have that done, I'll go ahead and select OK. From here, I'll go ahead and rotate the object around using my view cube. And I'm going to orient this in a left front position. So if I click on the corner of the view cube, it'll orient that in the front left position. From here, we're going to apply chamfer to our part. So under the Modify tools, I'll go ahead and select chamfer. I'm going to select this top edge and the opposite edge, and I'm going to put in a dimension of 125 thousandths or 1/8 of an inch. There's some different types of chamfers you can use. Equal distance, two distance, you could type in two different distances, or distance and an angle, you could type in the distance and the angle. We're going to leave it at equal distance for this, and I'm going to go ahead and click OK. From here, I want to remind you about if you need to edit things with your part. And so let's say that the first extrusion wasn't what we wanted. I can come down and find that extrusion in my timeline and hit Edit Feature. And I have a 1-inch extrusion. Let's say we want to change that to 1 1/4. I can go ahead and click OK, and my part will automatically update. From here, I'm going to use my view cube, and I'm going to kind of scroll down until I can see the bottom of my part. I'll go ahead and click the bottom view. We're going to click to create a new sketch on the bottom of the part, and I'm going to use the point tool. So I'll find the point tool, and I'm going to come over here and I'm going to hover over the origin. And when I do that, you'll get a blue box. And when I hover over and I move it, then it will project the blue box out. So if I want to line up with the origin, that's a good way to do that. I do want it to be our point to be lined up with the origin, so I'll click over here. Then I'm going to apply a dimension to that point. So I'll go from the point to the origin, and I'm going to make that dimension 4 inches. On this new point, I'm going to create a circle. the circle is going to have a diameter of 20 inches. And so I can go ahead and type in 20. And what you'll notice is that this circle is not fully constrained yet. It still has a blue line. And so I'm missing a dimension for it. So from this top point to the center of my circle, I'm going to put in a height dimension. So I'm going to make sure I have the height dimension selected. It's going to be 1.25 inches, and I can go ahead and hit enter to apply that dimension. From here, I'll go ahead and finish the sketch. I'm going to go to my home view so I can see the top of my part. Now we're going to pattern this geometry around the circle. So to do that, I'm going to go ahead and click the Create tool, and I'm going to go down to Pattern, and I'm going to find Circular Pattern. So I'll go ahead and click Circular Pattern. I'm going to select the body that I want to pattern first, and then I'm going to click to select the axis I want to pattern around. You can choose the quantity of times you want to pattern the object. In this case, we're going to have our object pattern 8 times. For the distribution, I'm going to say partial, and we're going to partially pattern these at an angle of 270 degrees. So what we've done is around this 270 degrees, we've patterned that part 8 times. So once I have that selected, I'll go ahead and click OK. And you can see that that feature has been patterned around the circle 8 times. From here, I'm going to use the view cube to kind of pan to the bottom. I'm going to click Extrude, and I'm going to select the bottom surface of the part. And I'm going to extrude that down 1 inch. Notice that on this one, our origin, the original part, it does not select, so it makes a little cutout. So I have to come in here and select that as well. So I want to have that selected, so I have a solid bottom. And under the operation, I'm going to make sure I want to have join selected. That's going to join these two different kind of components or bodies together to create one body. So once I have that done, I'll go ahead and click OK. From here, we're going to use the fillet tool. So this is the fillet tool. I'll go ahead and select it, and I'm going to select the face of my part, and I'm going to put in a dimension of 0.2 inches. And so what that has done is everything on this face, it has applied a fillet to. And so technically a fillet is an inside edge like this, and an outside edge is called a round. And so once you have that done, you can go ahead and select OK. From here, we're going to put a hole in our part. And so I'm going to use the hole tool. I'll select that over here, and I'm going to just select the face of the part that I want the hole to go in. So I'll select this face. For the reference, I'm going to go ahead and click this circle on the outside, and when I do that, it will place the hole in the middle of the part. Under hole type, we're going to want to make sure we have simple hole selected. And under distance, we're going to say we want it to go through all. And so again, no matter how thick we make this part, the hole will always go through it. And so that helps with our design intent. The diameter of the hole, we're going to make 4 inches. And so once you have that done, you can go ahead and select OK. From here, we're going to create a little cutout feature on the part. And so I'm going to click to make a new sketch, and I'm going to make it on the surface of the part. I'm going to get the line tool, and from the middle of the part, I'm going to click and drag a line out. I'm going to zoom out here because I want the line to go to the edge of the part. If you notice, I'm having a hard time selecting that edge, so I'm going to go ahead and hit Escape on my keyboard and not put the line in. And under Create, I'm going to come down here and select Project. Then I'm going to make sure I have this outside line selected, and I'm going to click that line. And what that's going to do is it's going to project this line up to the sketch that we're on now. And so I'll go ahead and click OK. And now I'll get my line tool again and go from the origin, and I'll be able to select that outside edge. Again, I know I'm on the edge because I get the blue X. So I'll do one on that side, and I'll make another line over here and click to select that edge. From there, I'm going to dimension it from this object, so I'll select those two, and I'll make it 30 degrees. From this side, again, I'll make it 30 degrees. Then I'm going to grab the arc tool. I'm going to use a 3-point arc. I'm going to select an endpoint and an endpoint, and I'm going to zoom in and make sure it goes right on the edge of the part. Once I have that done, I'll go ahead and click Finish Sketch. I'll select Extrude. Under New Body, under the operation, I'll go ahead and say I want to cut. And I'm going to say the distance is all. And you can see that I had to go in and make sure I select everything. Again, I'm going to cut and make sure the distance is all, so it'll go completely through the object. Once I have that done, I'll go ahead and click OK. So now I'm going to hover around to the bottom side of the part again using the View Cube. Under the Modify tools, I'm going to click Shell, and I'm going to select the bottom surface of the part. When I do that, I'm going to go ahead and type in a distance of 100 thousandths or 0.1. And so what we've done is it shells out the part. So I'll go ahead and click OK, and I can see that the part is shelled now. So everywhere on this part is 100 thousandth or 1/10 of an inch thick. So those are some of the featured tools that we practiced today using Fusion.